Laura Wogazogan. I am your math instructor this semester for Math 110H. This is a brief video that's going to go over our syllabus and class expectations, but definitely look through this on your own and reach out and ask if you have any questions. At the top of the syllabus, you'll notice on the right-hand side are the section numbers. There's 2 sections of Math 110H, as well as my office and my email. My office hours are on the right-hand side, which I have them on campus and then also on Zoom. So on campus are going to be Mondays and Wednesdays, and on Zoom would be on Tuesdays. The hours are listed there. So this is an online course with an emphasis that's placed on understanding statistical methods. This is an intro course into statistics. We have a picture of our textbook as well as the ISBN number. And with this is not required, but it is recommended. And so it's not something that you would have to purchase, but recommended to purchase one. We also need our Canvas learning system and our scanner. I use Adobe Scan, which is a free scanning app, but you can use anything that you want. A lot of the phones already have a scanner built into them. The big expense here is going to be a graphing calculator or an app. The TI-83, 84 graphing calculators do run upwards of $100 each if you buy a new one. And an alternative to this is going to be an app. This is discussed later on, and it's also in the first module on Canvas. You also will need class notes. You can either download those class notes if you're going to be filling them in using a tablet, or they're printed. I will have copies of them left outside of my office. And then pencil and paper to do work on. So our prerequisite here is listed, and after that we have our student learning outcomes and our course measurable objectives. Definitely read through those on your own and ask if they have any questions, but those are what you should have mastered by the end of the semester. The first thing that's discussed here at the bottom of page 1 is going to be homework. And so with homework, each student is responsible for his or her own learning. Homework is assigned for you to test yourself on the material. Show your work as demonstrated in class, and you should be using those methods that we use in class notes and then as well as they're listed in the textbook. So turn in quality work that represents the grade that you desire, that you would like to achieve. So homework is going to be assigned weekly. It is going to be on a program that is embedded into Canvas. It's called My Open Math. This is a free program. And then we'll also be using worksheets. The online homework will use a free program called My Open Math, or MOM, which is embedded into Canvas. All homework assignments are due by 11:59 p.m. on Thursdays for each week, unless otherwise stated. The assignments are listed on the last page of the syllabus, which is our course schedule. And no late assignments will be collected, so make sure you get an early start on these. Homework problems that are online can be attempted an infinite amount of time until you get the correct answer. So make sure you reattempt each problem until you get it correct and you understand the material. Any issues opening My Open Math from Canvas usually can be resolved by clearing your cookies or your history on the device that you're using. Sometimes students will get a message that says the homework assignment is locked, and it's locked before the due date. Maybe the due date's tomorrow. And so it just does this. It's something with the cookies and the settings, and so just go through and clear them, and usually that just resolves the problem and you're able to access that homework assignment. And then also for the other part, we will be using worksheets. The worksheets will be uploaded onto Canvas as well as my worked out solution, so definitely something to check. See if you can do it on your own first before you look at the solutions. And if you need help, there's some great options. You can work with classmates. Obviously, that's a great resource. You can also visit the Mercs, and this is going to be discussed below. We also have the ASAC Tutoring Center, and then you can also always stop by during my office hours. In addition, there are other tutoring centers on campus that could help with math. The next thing on here is going to be our lecture videos and notes. So each chapter has at least one lecture video that must be watched entirely. While watching the lecture videos, make sure to fully complete all chapter notes and examples. So as you're watching these lecture videos, they're going to go along with the notes that you have that you've either downloaded or printed. and you're just going to kind of follow along with them and fill things in. If you have questions on anything, we're not in class, so you can't raise your hand, but it's going to have to be something where you need to show up to office hours or send an email, something asking for some clarification on a topic. So filling in those notes are going to count for part of your grade, as well as watching the lecture videos will also count as part of your grade. So you may complete your notes on a tablet, printed lecture notes, or a lined paper, but if you're writing them down on lined paper, make sure you write down everything. So all the type stuff that I've already done for you, you need to write down on the lined paper so your notes are complete. Graphs should be completed by hand, so not with trying to type them. Lecture videos need to be watched in their entirety and through the Canvas link for credit. Throughout the lecture video, you will be asked questions to check for your understanding of the material. The last question that is going to be asked is going to say, did you watch the entire lecture video? Make sure to select yes so that you can earn the points for watching the lecture video completely. The pre-recorded lecture videos are worth 5 points each. The lecture videos will need to be completely watched by Tuesday of each week at 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise stated. Completed chapter notes will be turned in on Canvas. They will be scanned and uploaded as a single PDF file by Wednesdays at 11:59 p.m. of each week. So Tuesday, by the end of the day, you need to have those lecture videos watched, and by Wednesday at the end of the day, you need to have your completed notes scanned in. This gives you an extra day to kind of ask questions, to get some extra help, maybe go back and rewatch a video if you need to. But each completed chapter notes are worth 15 points. The lecture videos and completed chapter notes are worth 5% of your course grade. And then also you can rewatch any of the lecture videos using the link provided in Canvas modules. So if you go to Canvas, you'll notice that there is a link there for YouTube, and all those videos are posted on YouTube. You do not get credit for watching them on there. I do not know that you watched them or not, but it is an option that if you wanted to go back, if you were maybe missed something, or if you need to go back and rewatch something again for a better understanding, you can. The next thing on here is discussions. These will be weekly, and we're gonna have just one a week discussion. You will be posting, and you're also going to have to respond to at least one classmate. Direction, grading, and expectations are posted on each discussion topic. Discussions, both the post and the response, are due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise stated. So make sure to not only complete your post, but also respond to at least one classmate by that due date. The discussions will count as 5% of your math grade. The next thing that we have is quizzes. And these are going to be individual quizzes. They will also be using MyOpenMath, and they will be timed. So these are timed quizzes, and they're going to cover the recent material. They are set up to be quizzed by chapter. So quiz problems are only attempted once, and they will make up for 5% of your grade. Quizzes will open on Tuesdays at 8:30 a.m. and will be due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise stated. So failure to complete the quiz in this period will result in a 0 for that quiz. So a couple things. One is that we will be using the same program that we have for a lot of the homework assignments, which is MyOpenMath. And with the MyOpenMath, the homework, you can reattempt the problems as many times as you want. The difference here is with quizzes, you only get one attempt per problem. So you want to make sure you have the correct answer typed in, rounded correctly, the correct answer selected, if it's a multiple choice problem. And then from there, they're timed, but before you start it, you'll select, let's say, quiz 1, and it might say you have 30 minutes to complete this quiz. Are you ready to begin? If you do not have 30 minutes, do not start the quiz. Wait until you have that time. That quiz is open again from Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. until Friday at 11:59 p.m., giving you that 30 minutes or 45 minutes to take that quiz in that whole window that we have. So make sure you don't procrastinate and forget about this. So usually it's a good idea to kind of set aside some time to take these quizzes weekly so that way you stay on track. The next thing that we have are projects, and there's going to be 3 individual computer projects assigned this semester. Projects are going to use a free program called StatDisk. Projects are due by 11:59 p.m. on the due dates listed on the math schedule that we have, which again is on the last page of our syllabus. Projects will need to be uploaded as a single PDF file, and details will follow in a separate handout and project introduction video. Projects will account for 25% of your Math 110H grade. The first 2 projects are guided. They will tell you guys what to do. The third one is our big one that is going to be worth more points. This is where you are coming up with a topic on your own, and this is what separates the Math 110 from the Math 110H. And so you're doing your own research project, finding your own data, and more explanations will obviously be given to this later on, but we'll start this later, almost halfway through the semester. So the last thing on here that we have is exams in our final exam. So we will have 3 exams, and these are going to be given on the weeks that are talked about on our Math 110H fall course schedule. And they might change, but usually they stay as stated. Exams will have part on My Open Math and part will be handwritten, where you have to upload a PDF file. All work on exams need to be completed using the same vocabulary and approach as discussed in our class notes and textbook. If anything is not completed using those methods, then a 0 will be given. Additional information will be provided prior to the exams. Exams will count as 30% of your Math 110H grade. Exams will be open for a 36-hour window. So they will open on Thursdays at 8 a.m. and will close Fridays at 8 p.m. So again, your exams will open on the weeks that are stated on the course schedule, which again is the last page in the syllabus. And they will be open from Thursdays at 8 a.m. until Fridays at 8 p.m. And it will be just like the quizzes. They will be timed, 1 attempt per problem, and so forth. So the quizzes are a great way to get ready for the My Open Math part of the exams. We also have a cumulative final exam, and for us that will be open from Wednesday, December 11th at 8 a.m. through Thursday, December 12th at 8 p.m. So more information about our final will be discussed week 15, but again, it will be given in parts, just like how those exams will be given. Final exam is going to be worth 20% of your course grade and cannot be made up or given early. And if you have any special test taking needs or are part of Access, be sure to speak with me outside of class about this early on and send me an email with those accommodations so I can make sure that those accommodations are met. If I do not receive that paperwork, I cannot have those expectations met. So definitely get on that as soon as possible. We have a breakdown here of grades. Here is the rounding at an 89.5% or higher is an A, 79.5 or higher is a B, so keep those in mind and so forth. We also, down below, there's some information about tutoring. The biggest tutor center for us with math is going to be our Math Activities Resource Center, or the MARCS. Their hours are listed here. The MARCS is a great place to go because not only do they have 3 instructors that work there full time, but they also have calculators that you can borrow for the day. So those graphing calculators to borrow. They have textbooks that you can borrow, which are a great resource. They have free tutoring, not only by instructors, but also college students, maybe that are at Cal Poly Pomona or Mount SAC students, or other universities and colleges. And then they also have a computer lab there where you can sit and work, which is great for when you want to work on your projects. And the instructor that's in there is very experienced with StatDisk. So next thing that we have is that we have an absence and drop policy, which is a little different because we are an online course. So a student may be dropped for excessive absences. Since our class meets asynchronously, one absence will count as not completely watching one lecture video, completing one discussion, or uploading completed chapter notes. If you have more than 4 absences, you will be dropped from the course automatically. So make sure to keep track of those absences. In addition, you will be dropped if you fail to take any exam without talking to the instructor before the exam starts. Makeup lectures are not given outside of class. You're responsible for all announcements made on Canvas. If you decide to drop the course and stop attending, it's your responsibility to officially withdraw from the course. I also have listed in here the last day drop with a W and without a W. Right below this, we have our Canvas resources. And there is a help website, as well as on Canvas itself, you can actually select to get some help. There's a phone number also listed. There's a lot of places to get help if you have any issues logging into Canvas. Instructor contact. So since we don't have an actual class time to meet, it is difficult to ask questions. I encourage you guys to send me an email and show up to office hours. So with email, expect at least up to a 24-hour response time, Monday through Thursday, and up to a 48-hour for Friday through Sunday. Also, graded exams, graded homework, graded projects, anything that's graded, expect about a week from the due date for your grade to be posted. There is also a list on here with our Zoom ID and password for office hours. It is also listed on your homepage on Canvas, as well as there is a link in the first module on Canvas too. Calculators, there's information here about the calculator. There are some apps that you can use, so definitely read through. It depends on what device you're using. The big ones are going to be the Wabbit Emu, which is free on Android devices and other devices too with downloading. And then Graph and Calc 83, which for an iPhone usually runs about under $10. But definitely some options there to think about. They're a lot less expensive as compared to that graphing calculator. If you do want to borrow the graphing calculator, you can for the day at the marks. Student honesty. So you're completing your own work, and I want you guys to realize that if something is not done the way that we do it in class, then it's assumed that you would cheat and you would use a different resource. So make sure to do the same methods that we use in class and that's in the textbook. If you have any questions about anything, please reach out and ask. There is a list here of academic honesty. Reminder what dishonesty is. You're completing quizzes, projects, exams on your own and without the aid of any computer apps, web pages, programs, AI. Quizzes are individual assessments also. So keep all of that in mind. Student conduct. Make sure, especially with discussion posts and responses, you're respectful of your classmates. And then also with any email too, make sure you're very respectful. Email etiquette, introduce yourself. When asking homework questions, one problem per email is the best because sometimes I only have enough time to maybe respond to one question. And so this allows me to just respond quickly and help you out right away. If it's from My Open Math, those problems are going to be unique for you. So yes, they might all have the same wording, but we would all have different numbers. So you want to make sure to include a screenshot of the problem that you have so I can better help you with it. And then also make sure to attach any work or explanations about what you were trying, where you got lost, anything along those lines. And then use polite and correct language, keep it brief. And then last on here on our syllabus is going to be accommodations for disabilities. There's a phone number and also a web page for you. The top of page 6, you'll notice that we have our course schedule. So with the course schedule, you'll notice that we have our weeks, the dates of Monday on here, the lecture videos to watch, and you'll notice that it's 1 chapter per week, except for if you look at week 5, you'll notice that we do not have any videos that we need to watch, and that's because we will have an exam that week. So the next column has the course materials, and you'll see that week 1 is just chapter 1, week 2 is chapter 2, and we also start talking about project 1 and so forth. And you'll notice project 2 being listed on here. The last column over here is going to have the homework assignments listed, the quizzes listed, and the discussions that are due for each week. Again, remember, homework's due by Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Quizzes are open from Tuesdays through Fridays at 11:59 p.m. And then the discussions are due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Also, make sure that you don't just respond to the discussion, but reply to a classmate by Wednesday. You'll notice it's pretty much the same every single week. And then we get into some weeks are a little bit different. If you look at week 5, you'll see that we have a homework assignment that is going to be a review worksheet. Again, that worksheet's going to be posted on Canvas as well as my worked out solutions. In addition, the project 1 is due. The due date is listed there. And then our exam is listed, which is also, remember, for this week, it's going to be open for that 36-hour window for you to complete. More information about the exam will be posted during week 4. So make sure to read through that carefully. And then still those discussions. Likewise, looking at everything else, you can still see when all the projects are due, the weeks of the exams. And then you'll notice that we have a final exam here. And the final exam dates are listed. So all material is in our syllabus. You will also notice that, again, as I stated, project 3 is the one that's going to be a little bit different. And so with project 3, you will notice that we have a proposal. We also have an introduction that's due that we will be checking. And then we also do our statistics and our calculations, as well as a final due date for that project. So that project is your own idea, your own thoughts, your own research, but we are going to have checkpoints for you to kind of make sure you're on the right track, ask questions, and again, we'll talk about this more when we get to project 3, which is not until week 9. So again, look over your syllabus. If there's any questions that you have, please email me or come by office hours. And I look forward to seeing you guys all and meeting with everybody. And I hope this is a successful semester.